Hello. Hi, Kelly.
Hello. Turn my air conditioner off. It's super loud. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, my hair is like a bad hair day today. Whatever I do, it doesn't look good. So I give up.
Go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just let it. That's the nice thing about just, just let it ride.
Yeah. So Adrian just sent a text. She will be late like 2 minutes.
Okay. You want to
But
hold until she hops on?
um, we can start um
Okay.
maybe just like talking about the general things.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we make a decision, I think she will be here.
Okay,
So
perfect.
actually, I was trying to find the scope of the subcommittee. Um, Let me check, where is it? So I sent the information to Katie from Peoria Alive in case she wants to attend, but I don't know. I haven't heard back.
I have not heard from her specifically, but I'm happy to mention it to her and just make sure that we can get her on a future meeting if that's helpful.
Yeah, and I told her this is a planning meeting, not the official one yet, but it is a public meeting, so she knows. Because in our timeline, August will be the month we start. Okay, anyway, I couldn't find it. Maybe we should check the city council agenda package or something. So it is 12:01. Just like start slowly. And again, Adrienne told that she will be a little bit late, but she will be attending the meeting. And this meeting is a planning meeting. So because the city council wants us to revise scope of the work of the subcommittee and also just like decide what kind of membership structure we want to have. And the last item I want to talk about to decide a specific day for a kickoff event. Then we can promote this subcommittee and also invite stakeholders, and it will create some collaboration for the future events or future initiative we will have. And also Adrian Sel and I received a couple questions from a public member filled out, so also we can talk about those things. Anything else you want to cover in this meeting?
That sounds good. That's a pretty tall order.
I know it's like, oh, we want more? We have enough, more than enough. Anyway. Um, yeah, so I just want to ask you first. Hello, welcome. Here she is.
Oh, sorry. Just got back.
Oh my gosh, you said I will be late 2 minutes, and it is really 2 minutes.
I
How
know. I
did
was
you
like
do that?
flying back from Burlington and there was like that road construction.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I go Route 2 these
I was
days.
like, oh my God, I hate traffic. We live in Vermont.
See,
Anyway, yes, 2 minutes. See, I was right on
yeah,
time.
very good. Yeah.
It's like I'll be two
So,
minutes late.
yeah, I just like summarize the agenda items. So we will, this is a planning meeting. Our official meeting will be held during August sometime, which we can decide that time together. So I just want to hear your ideas about the scope of the work of the subcommittee, because City Council especially Councillor Brown thought it is too large. So, and since we have 6 months to come up with some kind of suggestions to the council,
Remind me what the current scope of work is for.
yeah, I tried to find it. I couldn't
So
find it.
I was scrambling to try to find it in the
Yeah.
background here too, and I think I found it.
Okay, we're all in
So
the same boat.
I'll forward it on to you by email,
Okay.
but the scope of work, and if this is not ringing bells or if there's a different iteration, please let me know, but the scope of work that we've got listed here is identifying opportunities for local economic growth, assessing barriers to business retention and attraction, aligning economic development with community priorities, collaborating with regional and state partners, delivering recommendations to the full council. So that's what's listed here under the scope of work.
So again, we will revise it. We decide as a subcommittee, no, we will stick this scope of work because we believe that we can do it in 6 months. So I mentioned before I prepare needs assessment draft, and I'm planning to share it with you after this meeting. And I try to cover most of those items in the needs assessment. So I don't know what you think. Here you go. Floor is yours.
Kelly, are you emailing because I don't remember what you just said.
Sending it over right now. Speed of light.
Okay,
It's
sorry.
coming on. It's coming over.
Sorry, I need to like see it.
Yeah,
It's like how my brain works. I'm like, it went poop. Hold on, let me just see it real fast. Ugh. And I'm hoping our new staff person will also be able to hop onto this subcommittee and help guide. You know, one of our strategic plans that we talked about yesterday was to have an economic development, like strategic plan of some kind. And so, you know, under economic development, I mean, I feel like it's such a big word, but we could be talking about local businesses, you know, the business outreach, you know, it also overlaps with housing. Let me see what this is. Hold on. I gotta read this real fast. Scope of work.
So just for awareness in terms of to that end, that's one of the items I flagged from our conversation last night, is to have Matthew work on this. So I could also have him included in this committee. We talked a little bit about it at our leadership team meeting this morning, which we kind of do a debrief on council meetings and the to-dos. So it's on the list of things to handle.
Yeah, I think the scope of work, I mean, I feel like for this subcommittee, it's all about like identifying like the current state, right? So what is currently happening? You know, doing our research, you know, we did have that Montpelier Corporation, I don't even know what it's called, Development Corporation, which I think Palin already connected with them. So I think within 6 months, we could, I think the scope of work sounds, I mean, I think that sounds doable. It's doing our homework. Like, what is the baseline? What is the current state? You know, potentially, you know, doing some community partner, you know, roundtables, you know, understanding what's happening at the state in terms of like, you know, we have a state economic development and I forget what it's called, it's like ACCD. So like getting the landscape of what is happening, what is going really well for economic growth. Like what are the barriers? I mean, this is exactly how you light it out, Palin. I'm just reading through it.
The collaborations seem challenging in that time frame, particularly considering we're starting now, sort of in the middle of summer. But I mean, it could be done. Depends on how ambitious
Maybe
we
it's
are.
good point, Sal. Maybe we can say start or something, like not collaborating, but
Yeah,
with the economic development specialist start collaboration, something like that. We can revise it like that. And again, other than that, I already cover other items on the needs assessment, and I will share it with you today after the meeting. Then you can just give feedback, and we can revise it.
And wait, what's the needs assessment again? Sorry, just I
Needs
read-
assessment about what is the current situation here, what do we need to do, what kind of regional collaborations the stakeholders want, like business owners, entrepreneurs, Montpelier residents.
Oh, to conduct a needs assessment.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Okay.
yeah. So I prepare needs
Oh,
assessment
okay.
survey.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Just-
but I just wanna, talk about the scope of work
Okay.
first, then I can share the needs assessment with you. Okay, so then what we will do, we will just like revise the collaboration part, and we
Mhm.
will say start the momentum or whatever moment.
I think we're like building relationships with regional and state partners.
Yeah, that's not a bad,
Because
way to-
we,
to-
I don't know, I mean, collaboration will be the result, but I think we need to build those relationships or continue to build. I mean, we have obviously relationships, right? We're the city of Montpelier, but like, yeah, I think we need to, I don't know, maybe strengthen relationships with regional and state partners because we already have relationships, but like, how do we strengthen them? Aligning economic development with community.
Or you know what, we can always say that what do you want when we say collaboration, right? Like what we are visioning, not only building, but what are we talking about? Financial support, like finding grants, or we are talking about like really, I don't know, doing something together.
I don't know. I think that's the discovery phase,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
That's
no.
what I'm saying. Like after maybe the survey results, we can
Yeah.
revise that and make it like really, okay, this is the this is the last the final decision for this item, or we can just remove it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we know what that looks like yet until we gather some more information.
Okay, good.
Um,
Kelly, are we good with this item?
assessing barriers.
The first one?
I,
Okay.
I think so. And I especially, do like, bringing in the economic development specialist to kind of work on some of these items. And then I also like maybe the framing around kind of the discovery piece.
Mhm.
And then, I do think with the collaboration, and sort of just kind of trying to, target where we are right now.
Still here? Something happened.
Billy's frozen.
Yeah, I'm back, but it froze for a second. That was weird.
Okay.
She's frozen.
Let me,
Oh,
there
she's
we go,
back.
she's back. We
Okay.
missed
I don't
the
know what
last half of what you said.
Oh, I am so sorry. So I froze and I was like, whoa, that is, my lips are still moving, but they're not moving on the screen. So let's see here. So where did you hear last point?
Just the last sentence we didn't hear.
Oh, yeah. So I think that, sort of building and strengthening the relationships with the state partners will be good, so we can kind of like get that process away.
Okay, good. So next, move the second item, and it's about membership. So when Adrian, I, and Katie from Montpelier Alive, when we talk, she suggested like inviting people, and we can decide membership by invitation or membership by application. But in my mind, because this is a very time-limited subcommittee, I was thinking this initiative more like an expertise based. So to me, membership by invitation is better than if this committee wants to continue in another form, then maybe they can talk about membership by application. But I want to hear your thoughts about it.
Is that something the city commonly does or has done before? membership by invitation only?
And we can frame it whichever way we'd
Yeah.
like. I mean, typically the existing committee structures are by application.
Yeah,
But if you're looking for specific people or specializations, then I just think that you need to meet your criteria.
mhm.
You know, so depending on what you'd be looking for, you might want to just make sure that there's a justification for why you're extending an invitation, just to be clear about it.
Because this is a city council subcommittee, maybe we can do that. But
Yeah, I don't see any reason why you can't.
Mhm.
And so like, I think that it makes sense that to get sort of, it's more of a, like a round table kind of discussion. And so like, you're sort of the three of you are the subcommittee. And then who you invite to participate is totally up to you.
Yeah, I mean, we might get some pushback on that, but I mean, it seems justified, particularly if it doesn't necessarily need to be membership. I mean, we can invite people to particular meetings, particular discussion topics without membership. Because membership implies voting
Hmm.
and quorum and all that stuff. So what about that? So is this the entire committee, the three of us?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the city council subcommittee, yeah,
Yeah.
of us.
Well, I kind of like the idea of inviting people as we need them. You know, sort of get guest participants who bring their insight and expertise, and but are non-voting participants. Does that make sense?
I think so. Maybe we can say expert participation,
Yeah.
something like that. The subcommittee will have 3 members of city councilors, but we will work with the expert participants.
Yeah. I agree, because I think if we keep our frame and that this is our like discovery phase for 6 months, we're collecting data, we're interviewing people who are experts in the field, we're getting the landscape of economic development and opportunities, right? That could be, as you said, like grants, it could be people, it could be, strategies to, bring in new businesses as well as, retain our own. And so at the end of this in February, we're delivering those recommendations to council. And at that time, maybe the recommendation is, we have an economic committee or we have a partner that does economic development. Like we don't know what the recommendation is. So I think keeping it super simple, we know who the players are. So let's just bring them in as guests and ask them questions and do as much deep diving interviews as we can so that in the end we're delivering a report on recommendations. So we're not doing the work. We're just trying to assess what we think would be best for the city moving forward. And I think as that new person comes on board, they might have a whole bunch of ideas too, because that's what he's really good at. So I think just keeping it very simple, inviting in people that we need to question, and then Palin with your needs assessment. It's all the data we're going to be collecting.
Yeah.
Speaking of his coming on board, is that public information yet? Is he?
So he has accepted
He has.
offer.
Okay.
And
Great.
we are working on a release with his bio.
And when is his start date?
We don't have a start date just yet. So we
Okay.
wanted to wait until last night to be able to do that.
And he has to find housing.
Yeah. But he's ready to move, so that's good.
There is one house.
First job is to build himself a house, and then oh dear.
on sale in my neighborhood. So there are a
There we
couple
go.
of but I don't think he's planning to buy a house. He's looking
Yeah.
at flat. Okay, good. See, it's happening so quickly because it's so effective group. And the last one is I think based on the survey results,
Mhm.
I envision like a kind of a kickoff meeting maybe we can have a very short panel with inviting like regional economic institutions and just like talk about the survey of our result to the community, to the public. And then based on the input we received that day, we can decide what to do with the survey results. So it's just an idea. I think it's important to promote this initiative so we can get more support. But if you think that, no, we don't need a kickoff meeting, we can just like work as like other subcommittees and just like do the survey, analyze the data, and bring it to the council, it's also fine by me. So I just want to hear your thoughts.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
We, sorry, can we just go back? I want to make sure we finish up the other part because I had just a couple more thoughts. So while we're on the phone, is it worth our time to think about who we want to invite? Like, I think identifying some people and maybe building out a little bit of like a thought process around that, or no? I just didn't want to leave that.
Yeah, good question. So Katie from
Okay.
Montreal, I've sent a list. So
Oh,
I
she
will
did.
share, yeah, I will share it with you
Oh, okay.
that we can add more names
Oh,
on.
okay.
So we have some kind of a started point, and at the council meeting, she said like she needs some help. That's why I thought starting with her list will be beneficial because she's already doing some job. And then when we have kind of a draft, maybe in our next meeting, we can go over
Okay.
the names and we can decide, okay, this is our final list. Then
Oh,
we
okay.
can send invitation emails.
Oh, that's good. I just was thinking about that.
No,
That's sounds
it's a
good.
good question,
That's
right?
good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I haven't seen I mean, I know you're sending the needs assessment, but I think, yeah, once we get the results, we should share it. I, let's do that. It's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe even a press release or press conference or like kickoff event, something. And it doesn't have to be like long, like maybe a brunch, like couple hours, I don't know, breakfast, yeah, something like that.
Who's the
Not
audience, you think? Who, like, I don't know. I'm having a hard time visioning because I don't know what the needs assessment is asking. So I don't know what the results will be. And then who cares about that?
okay. So I envision having a public meeting. So that's not for stakeholders. That's for the public information. So residents, business owner, entrepreneurs, like all Montpelier economic stakeholders can attend. But to make it a little bit more interesting and attractive, maybe we can have a, I don't know, half an hour panel with the economic development institutions representative, like regional ones, statewide, something like that. But my idea is to have a public meeting to inform Montpelier residents.
I don't know if this is part of the needs assessment, but just thinking about the email we got just a little while ago, and I don't know if this falls into this economic development or not, but it's always on my mind. It is always on my mind. I think it is an economic development issue in Montpelier. So we got an email from John Odom about the BCA, the Board of Civil Authority.
Yeah.
I don't know all the details, but when I see Jesse Jacobs' name come up, all the red flags come up in my brain. He owns half of Montpelier, and he's a landlord. And I feel like thinking about landlords as, that own half of our town, and a lot of these buildings are vacant, and now he's asking for an assessment appeal on all of his properties. Like, is there a way to like weave in landlords in terms of like, right? Because they own these properties, and it's not just like the community members, but the people that own all of our buildings. Like, and just as a side note, you all know I've been working with the people that are interested in bringing rock climbing to Montpelier, like to have a rock climbing gym. The hugest barrier to economic development in Montpelier are these very small minority of people that own the majority of our buildings, and the astronomical rent that they're charging. It is such a barrier to bringing in any small business. And, I don't know how we overcome that or how this, but I think that is like a data collection point, thinking about the landlords and like, now we're going to be looking at Jesse Jacobs, his entire properties, and looking at, an assessment appeal while they're charging these astronomical rents for these places that are all vacant, which is prohibiting any businesses that are coming into town. So it's always on my mind. I don't know how we weave it into the fabric of this economic development subcommittee, but I don't want to lose that thought because I think it is like a barrier to any future growth that we have in our city. And I don't know how
So,
we do that.
so how about inviting landlords one of our meetings?
I think it would
And
have to be done
get,
individually. Like, I don't think they're going to sit in a meeting and talk about their buildings with each other.
not yeah, we can decide what to do. I
Yeah.
was thinking like how city can work with them, something like
Yes.
that. Not like, oh, you have this building and you are charging, not like that. Like how we can support each other in a better terms for future.
Yeah. What do you all think? I
That's
mean,
my, yeah, that's my
Kelly, what
point.
do you think about that? It's just something that is like literally on my mind. And I know everyone I talk to is like, it's the landlords, like they're preventing, like Alan Goodman owns that whole building on Court Street that's completely empty, which is, you know,
I mean, I think we probably could invite them to the table and just say, we're studying the issue and see what they have to say. They may, offer, some insights from their perspective,
yeah.
so that might be good, in terms of a candid conversation, with them. I think it depends on the intent. So, but yeah, I mean, it is interesting to think about, like, who owns what's open, what can be developed. But I also do think that some of them do have some interest in developing. Because if we have a healthy downtown or, sort of access to housing, then, sort of makes this a nice place to live, and they, have long-term tenants. So it's
Does
figuring
this-
out like what's the relationship is.
Has the city, I mean, you would think that if they had something they wanted to accomplish, they would have pursued it with the city. Have any of them raised issues that they say are preventing them from doing something they wanted to do? I mean,
Well, Alan Goldman, for example, would really like some investments in infrastructure to help fund his housing project. So depending on what that is and getting into the specifics, that might be something. Other kinds of programs or needs, I mean, we would have to talk to them about it. So depending
well,
on
that's what I'm wondering, but they haven't raised the issue. They haven't come to the city and said, I'd really like to do this, but the city's in the way in with these
I mean,
things. And
absent like Alan Goldman or some of the housing developers and the zoning regulations, that's what we've heard as of late. But I
Yeah.
also feel like this sort of composite time frame, like, is a little bit interesting, right? Because we had the floods, and then before that it was the pandemic. So like I think we are primed for that conversation. But no, to answer your question, we haven't heard other than Alan Goldman of people. I mean, and some developers, housing developers. So
well, it just
he might
suggests,
also be a good person to talk to on that side of things.
yeah. I mean, it's certainly, there's no harm in talking with, I mean, I don't know who would be the most open. I don't know them, any of them personally, really. I have been introduced to some people who own apartment buildings, one or two buildings, but it'd be nice to get together with a few of them individually just to get their point of view and see if there was any commonality in what they had to tell us. But the lack the lack of activity on their part suggests to me that they're just happy as clams with the way the situation sits now. They're sort of in the catbird seat with rents, and they don't have any incentive to spend anything. They can kind of rest on what they've got, which is not what we want. We want them to be willing to invest, and so maybe it's worth. But I think on an individual basis, I have this vision of getting a group of property owners in a room, and it would just be a little bit of a zoo in an initial meeting anyway. I would rather meet with them individually, and so we kind of knew what we're getting into, and then see where the commonality is, and then maybe invite them as a group to a discussion where we have the issues that we want to pursue, you know. Otherwise, I think they would kind of take over the discussion.
Okay.
My 2 cents.
I will just summarize what I heard. If I am not right, please let me know and correct me. So maybe we can come back and talk about this public event later, because we don't have any data yet and we don't know who to invite. So let's focus on the expert participation list and circulating the survey first. Then when we have the results, we can just like sit down and, okay, we need to talk this group of people, we need to talk this individual. Then we can either talk them individually, we can either talk some of them as a group, then we can find another way to inform the public about the results. Is the right summary? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Good. So next item is I just like said before you come, Andrea, like one of the community members, Philip Dodd, just sent 3 of us some questions. So I will just bring it up because I think he was supposed to be here, but he couldn't. So if he watches the recording, he can see that what we think about his questions. So I think he is wondering, I will just like read it for the record. The Resilience Committee is possibly expanding its mission to include economic development. How does that fit in with this subcommittee? So I haven't heard anything like that. I don't know if you heard it. Maybe we can ask this to Ben, because he's the liaison with the Resilience Commission and City Council. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a great way to do that. Also,
yeah,
you know, there is sort of an overlap in the support provided to downtown businesses from the work that they're doing.
Yeah, I think their interest in and involvement with the federal building is what's prompting that. They're very interested in what happens there and what the possibilities are in the downtown area, as am I. I mean, my first choice for development would be the Pit. Just fill it up with 5-story buildings, apartments, retail, parking, pickleball courts, whatever. Whatever you can squeeze in there. It's right now, it's just a big donut hole in the middle of the city doing absolutely nothing. And we need feet on the street downtown. You know, that said, they're an independent organization. I mean, I don't know what tools they have to, it's not like they can certainly build relationships and sort of market the city to potential developers. But the city has all the tools, you know, the tax stabilization and the development agreements and infrastructure deals and that sort of thing. So I guess it's a question of well, I think we ought to just find out what they're up to. What are they interested in exactly? How do they see what their interest is interfacing with what the city wants to accomplish, and go from there. I mean,
invite them as an expert.
Yeah.
One of the meetings.
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
like,
no, that's
I have no idea, and
Yeah.
I don't have any information about their intent. So let's invite them, talk. And also this subcommittee, it's time limited and we are just looking for data. So I don't think their ideas and this subcommittee will just like, is it clash? Like they will not overlap or they will not be obstacles to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's invite them, let's hear them, because probably for our economic development specialists, it will be important to hear their vision. But again, like Sal is saying, I think they are private organization or nonprofit. I don't know how they want to continue. But city has all the obligations, rules, and legal things. So I think we are doing two different things, but we can always support each other.
Thinking about invitations, and this goes back also to Phil's note.
Yeah.
He talked about inviting some people who were on the previous
Yeah.
Economic Development Corporation, I think it was called. I don't know if it was actually a corporation, but I would be interested in talking with those folks about what worked and what didn't, and and why. I got here after Bar Hill, but that sounds like an amazing bit of development craft to have the city managed somehow. And I don't know the history of it. I don't know how it happened, what was involved to make it happen, and it seems like they didn't even have the tools that we have today. So it might be, I would appreciate just a brief education with whoever it is who has that history and can, present it to us so we kind of know how that occurred, what the obstacles were and how they were overcome. Because I think that was a major accomplishment. And there was a major investment by the city too, I think, in the infrastructure and so on.
So just in a thumbnail sketch on that one, we did do sort of a mini TIF, which is kind of like a sort of internal municipal TIF on the utilities. And then in terms of if you were interested, we could probably get Tom McCardle, the former Public Works Director, to come to a meeting and brief sort of the whole project. He was ground up on that.
Oh, cool. Well,
So,
that
yeah,
might
that
be
could
cool
totally
if you
happen.
guys. That would be valuable to me. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, but it seems like that was a major deal, and didn't happen too long ago. It was a pretty resounding success, I think. So
Is it okay if Kelly and I work on maybe informative meeting sessions, right? Oh, we can invite former DPW work director, right? It is right. Then we can invite the Montpelier Development Corporation, Economic Development Corporation, former members. We can invite Commission of Resiliency while we are working on the expert participant list. Is it good? Like how long do you want to hear them? Like half an hour, whole meeting?
I mean, I think 30 to 45 minutes, like
Okay.
high
Yeah,
level, like
yeah,
we don't
that'll
have
go.
time to have 10 different meetings of like,
Okay.
Yeah, that'll go pretty fast, but
Okay.
yeah, if it's too long, I mean, we could talk forever probably, but
Yeah.
yeah, half an hour probably if they go a little long.
Did we want to talk about, so Katie did send along a person who's in economic development that moved to Montpelier, David Cohen. Did you guys see his resume? I don't
No.
know who he is, but is that a
No.
person we want to talk to also?
Okay. So I'm just like thinking next couple meetings topic. So I think we
Yeah,
will start
yeah.
hearing from people. So then do you want to meet every week or every other week? Because I know we have to invite them, so we have to email them. And I want to give them like, oh, these 3 next meeting will be about this. Pick one of the dates for you.
Is this the time that is this a good time for everybody? Thursday noon or?
For this week, it was good for me. Noons are good for me, but I can also meet after work. So it's up to you.
Yeah.
During,
I'm probably as more open than anybody else, so,
I'm so
um,
jealous. So,
I mean, we,
Thursdays at 12 are good for me, except for the 14th of August. I'm just
yeah,
looking-
I'm on vacation that week.
Okay. I have, for some odd reason, nothing at 12 o'clock on Thursdays.
So
That's
then
strange. But there you go.
Thursday, 12 o'clock is good. Maybe when you are not available, we can skip that meeting.
Yeah, it's, I think just that week Sal's on vacation. I have
Yeah.
to pick Abby up from camp on the 14th, so.
Whoops,
Okay.
actually, I'm on vacation the next week.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should take 2 weeks of vacation.
You
No,
should.
I'm sorry, I'm on vacation the week of the 19th.
Okay, so the 14th and the 21st are no. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And we at
That's
least give people some dates and times, and then that could help build our meeting schedule.
okay. So I can email Kelly and we can just like create some timeline. But we are meeting next week anyway. Maybe we can invite former director. Do you think he will be available or
I can check. Coming out of this meeting, I can send a note over to Kurt and see if Tom is available to attend this meeting. I don't know that you necessarily need a staff person in these meetings. It's just a
Mhm.
point of interest, and until we have our economic development specialist
Yeah.
on board, like I was just thinking I might attend, and also so
Yeah.
I can help if you need
Yeah.
this kind of thing. But next week I won't be able to be here just because I'll be on vacation, which
Mhm.
Oh, good.
will be nice.
I'm sure it will.
Yes. And it's totally envious of like a 2-week situation, but that is not where we are. So
Yeah.
anyway, I will ask to see if he's
Thank
available.
you, Kelly. Do you want to wait until everyone is available? And by that time, we can work on the like invitation list and also survey. And Kelly, you are on vacation, so you don't have to do anything because it's just like checking the questions and everything.
Sure, and I'll just make sure that we've got it warned
Yeah.
for next
Yeah.
week.
One other thing to
What you
consider,
think? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, one other thing to consider with inviting people who, for informational purposes, since it's just the three of us, if they can't make it, on any Thursday at noon, we can invite them we can meet at their convenience.
Yeah.
In a Zoom or, whatever, but, we'd have to warn it and so on, but I don't see why we can't be flexible in that way. We don't need to be
Yeah.
rigidly scheduled every Thursday, every meeting on the Thursday at noon if people we want to talk to can't make that. So something to keep in mind.
Okay, then what's the decision then for weekly meetings?
What's the decision for?
For the weekly meetings for the subcommittee, should we pick a day and time? And when we cannot meet that day and time, we can just like be flexible, or we don't have any specific day and time and we will just like warn in when everybody is
Oh.
available. I think we need to pick.
I like
day.
the Thursday at noon if that works for other folks.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, good.
And that's weekly, right? So I'll just make sure that we have a standing warning that actually really helps to standardize it for us, because then we can just, get it sort of out there and then it's
Yep.
just in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Kelly, we don't need any staff appearance because of the working hours and capacity. So, but anybody is welcome to.
I think it's more, I just want to make sure that you get it warned appropriately. That's
Yeah.
the back
Yeah,
end piece that's a
yeah.
little bit, just making sure that you've got that. Otherwise, yeah, and I appreciate that you're sort of open for people attending. I just want to make sure that you're sort of squared away with the requirements.
Yep.
Good. Okay, so let me summarize the next steps. And if I missed anything, just tell me. First, I will share Katie's list, and Adrian only mentioned one of them. So we can check that invitation list, and these are the experts we want to collaborate with. And then Kelly and I, probably after her vacation, talk about like inviting former Montpelier Economic Development Corporation members and Commission of Resilience, I don't know how to say it. And also I will share needs assessment survey questions with all of you. Then you can revise and edit or add your feedback. Then next week maybe we can just like review it, and when we think it's ready, I can share it with Evelyn and we can send it to collect some data. Does it sound good?
That sounds perfect to me.
It does.
Good.
So we'll start with a meeting next Thursday
Yes.
and do one on the 31st and then on the 7th, and then we'll skip to the 14th and the 28th and then pick up after that. Is that okay? Great.
So if any of us not available, at least two of us will be in the meeting, so we can always
Yeah.
state
That's true.
the one who cannot attend. So I think it is important to keep the momentum and meeting
Mhm.
every until we decide, okay, now it is good time to meet every other week or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And it doesn't have to be all full hour every week. Great. Any comments, additions, feedback, any ideas?
Who hosts the meeting if we don't have a staff person?
In
How does that work?
childcare task force, we just like log in and it works. It records automatically.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the
So
setup.
it's the same link every meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so I just have a feeling, I don't know, it's just a deja vu, but I just feel like I saw you just last night.
I know.
Now I
It is kind of a
we see
deja
each other
vu
every
moment.
day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know, it's the
We should just move into a dorm.
Oh, for at
Yes.
least the next 6 months.
Wait till budgeting starts. Good
I
God.
know, my God. So exhausting.
Yeah. Thank you again. You are for your support for this subcommittee, and thank you, Kelly, all the information you provided us, and have a great vacation. I know you need it, so I hope you can enjoy your time.
You certainly
Thank
earned it.
you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take care.
Okay,
See
great.
y'all
Thanks,
later.
everybody. Yeah,
Bye.
bye-bye.